I'm going to cover three topics. The first topic, when you go through a crisis, is about cash flow management. Being on top of your cash flow is critical, and you need to have. There is an echo still. This is annoying. Charlotte, there's still an echo. It's anyway. I'm going to continue through it. So you have the to be on top of your cash flow. The second element is going to be on your risk management framework to make sure that you have the proper risk management set up and understand what are the risk areas and how best to address those risk areas. And the third one is really on looking at your export opportunities and the growth opportunities that is facing. And I will share with you different models as we go along the presentation. Let me start by sharing with you the first slide, which is a quote from JFK in terms of the crisis word in Chinese. It's two characters. The first one is on the danger, and the second one is the opportunity. And once you manage a crisis, you have to look at both. You have to look at the elements of the crisis. What are the danger areas? Plan for these danger zones and be able to find out what are the right mitigation plan that you have. And at the same time, you need to look at the opportunities that you face and prioritize those, because the crisis, every crisis brings with it a lot of opportunity. You might not be aware of it when you are in the crisis, but you will see that these come out, and they come either through discussions with customers, with partners, with shareholders, or with the staff that you have. So the theme will be the same. We will focus on the risk, and we will also focus on the area. So the agenda, I'm going to cut it short to give time for you to ask Q&A, is we'll cover in one slide what are the challenges that I heard from the small, medium-sized enterprises and the scale-up enterprises that I've been talking to. So I've listed these challenges. I will then focus on a few tips on cash flow management, a few tips on risk management, and also a few tips in terms of the communication and the way you map your growth opportunities moving forward. And then I will break and take your questions after this. So what are the challenges? This is after sitting down with probably about 300 different companies over the past 12 months. I delivered these workshops across the region, in Lebanon, in Africa, on it, and I got feedback from a number of founders of scale-ups and of SMEs. They said the first challenge is give me access to funding. It showed me the way, what are the funding source, how do I prepare myself to get the funding, and what is the best way to go about it. The second one is help me find the right talents. My talents might be leaving. I found other opportunities. How do I retain talents? Or how do I go and find a shop for new talents that I need? The third one is help me accessing markets, external markets. I don't want to focus only on one country. I want to go across different countries. So help me be able to expand. The fourth dimension is help me use technology to build up the competitive differentiation. So how can I be innovative in my model using technology to help differentiate from others? The fifth area is give me help. I need people, advisors, I need coaches, I need mentors, I need people who will help me answer some of the questions that I have, and today I have no answer for these questions. And lastly, it's about sharing best practices, templates, other models that you have, or learning from other companies that you have worked with for to learn what. So these were the themes that came up from the discussion that we had with all these companies. So first is the definition of a crisis. The crisis are three factors. One, it's a threat. It's a threat to your organization. Two, there is an element of surprise. You are not expecting you, and it's hitting you, and it's impacting you. And three, you have very short time frame to decide. And the fourth element behind it is the need for change. You cannot let a crisis come without grabbing this crisis as an opportunity to change your model, to maybe change go-to-market strategy, to change your portfolio mix in terms of clients, customers, either potentially to change your shareholders, or sometimes even to change your suppliers or change your staff. So what are the opportunities for you to change in the midst of this crisis? Okay, let me start first with cash flow. I'm keeping it short and concise. You live or you die by the quality of your cash flow forecast. So the first thing that you need to do, and this is something that is important is all the companies that we have funded, and we as Berytech, in all the different accelerators, have funded more than 150 companies over the past 10 years. I'm also a member of the investment committee of Berytech Fund 1 and Berytech Fund 2, and working very closely with agri-tech, with clean tech, in terms of getting these companies ready. One of the first things that we do with all of them is help them put together a cash flow forecast. This is your cash flow income, the cash income, this is the cash outflow, and what sort of gap you have. So we need to understand when is the gap happening, how big is the gap, and what are we going to do to fund the gap. So in terms of this, one is monitor. If you don't know how to put together a cash flow forecast, get someone together. So this is the first thing. Two, build yourself a cash buffer. And you need to find different ways to build a cash buffer, either through your own funds, through funds of other shareholders, or if you have an asset that you can dispose of, you need to get some sort of a cash buffer. The second thing is shift your variable costs into your fixed costs into variable costs. I.e., if your revenue drops, then your cost also will drop. Because if your revenue drops and you have only fixed costs, you will be hit severely. So, and there are different ways of shifting your fixed costs into variable costs. And feel free to reach out to me if you want to have always available if you have questions. The third element is you need to decide what is core versus what is not core. And this is not only for your assets. This will be for your clients, this will be for your people, and this will be for your department. And what is not core, this is the time you consider whether you want to keep it or you want to outsource it. These are tough decisions, but you need to take these decisions. You also need to optimize what we call the cash conversion cycle. Now, some of you may not be finance people, but this means that you need to look at your inventory level, receivable level, and your supply. And the combination of the three is your cash conversion cycle. And this needs to be as short as possible. The shorter it is, the smaller it is, the more efficient you are at managing your working capital. And you have different ways of being able to do it. I'll be happy also to extend it. Also, don't only focus on cost reduction. You have to focus on growth opportunities. And I will share with you in a few slides how you go about mapping these opportunities and prioritizing them. The last thing that I want you to do is really what is your core competence. Focus on this and make sure that you deliver on this core competency that you have. So these will be some tips on your cash and cash flow management, which is essential. The second tip is on risk management. It's a simple process, and in some ways, you're doing it without realizing it. The first is you list all your risk areas. This is the second element that you do is you prioritize in terms of impact and in terms of probability. High impact, high probability is the red zone. Once you map those in terms of impact and probability on this, you will zoom in on this red zone, and for each of the elements in the red zone, you will define what mitigation plan you want to put in place. Now, this exercise needs to be done in crisis or in no crisis. It's a very important exercise to be able to do so that you are on top of what is the worst thing that could happen to your own organization. So this is the whole process of building a risk management framework. This is an example. It's one of the companies that came in, we sat down, they listed their risk areas, capital control, theft, double currency, in our case, brutal currency, political risk, and etc. Then they went in and they have mapped those in terms of probability and in terms of impact. They've mapped those, and then for those risk areas, they came up with a mitigation plan. They listed the risk, they listed the probability, take the first one, security critical risk, and then they came up with a mitigation plan. It's a very simple exercise to do, and it is also a template that needs to be done and applied across all organizations in moments of crisis and in no moments of crisis. So this is the second one, by the way, on the side to Jessica and the team that you have. Now, so what are the things behind it? Identify, analyze, and evaluate the risk early on. Don't wait for the crisis, and you need to do this on a consistent basis. Every 6 months, every year, at least be able to do this. Make sure that this is part of your process, governance process within your organization. Don't take all risks as bad. Some of the risks actually good risks to have. You need to keep them, and you want to develop them because they could lead to some opportunities and be of interest. And you have different things of management. You could accept the risk, you can delegate the risk, you could avoid the risk that you have, or you could share the risk. So these are different ways to look at it in terms of your risk mitigation strategy that you have. And of course, always focus on the high impact, high probability to make sure that you find the right mitigation plan. Now, in all crises, you would go through this. And some of you have seen the map. This is the map where you go through these four phases. And this could be a personal crisis, it could be a business crisis that you go. The first phase is denial. The second phase is frustration. The third phase is acceptance. And the fourth phase is commitment. And everyone goes through these four phases. Now, the blue color is what typically the morale and the productivity of the people go. The more effective you are as a leader in helping them go through these four phases by providing information when they are in denial, explaining why it's happening, by listening to them, listening to their frustration. This is about listening skills. By showing them what the future might look like in terms of a direction, and by providing them with the right support, you could help move from the full line to the dotted line and reduce the impact on your company. This is another map that you might want to use and accept. And most of the practices, you always go through these phases where you have where you create this coalition of people that you feel are going to be very close to you, they're going to help go to the crisis. You will set a direction where you want to go.
Constantin, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry to disrupt you again, but your voice is cutting a lot. Can you please just refresh your page and close everything else on your browsers? Just leave this session open and close everything else and just refresh the page.
Okay, how do I do it?
You just have to click on the button next to the apphoppin.com. Just click refresh.
I don't know which button, Jessica, I'm sorry.
Okay, if you want, just click on the link of this page and
anyway,
click enter.
We don't have a lot of time. Probably what I'll do is I'll stop and I take questions. I think this will be better because we're left with 10 minutes of time, so I won't have the time to go through this. So maybe maybe we could take the questions.
Even though if you're taking the question, it's just that people are not able to hear the voice. It's not, they can see the presentation very well. It's just your voice that is cutting. So what I need you to do is just refresh the page. If you refresh the page, we need to test your voice.
How do I refresh it?
Just click on the link at the top and press enter.
Which link on the top?
The link of the Hoppen. If you click on the tab up there, there's HTTPS apphoppen. Okay, so he is refreshing the page.
Jessie?
Yes.
Okay, do you hear me well, or is it still cutting?
No, this is perfectly better. Okay. Everyone much better, yeah.
Okay,
it's much better.
I'm going to only take questions because we're left with 10 minutes. So if people want to put questions, you will get all the copy of the slides.
Okay.
And so if you have if you have, Jessie you send it to Jessie and she will give you the slides. Any question that you would have. So to summarize, you could type the questions on the direct messages. So let me check. So if you just want to type it, the summary of it is that when you are managing a crisis, you need to look at really three factors primarily. One is your cash flow forecast that you need to put together. Understand from your cash flow forecast where are the gaps. Understand how big are these gaps, when are these gaps happening, and most importantly, how are you going to address the gaps. So this is the first thing. And the way you manage your cash flow is really by managing your cash flow. Jesse, we hear you. So maybe mute your okay, so this is Rima. So I'm going to take the questions. What are the things to focus on related to the team? If we need, okay, this is good. I mean, the team one is a critical one because you've been working with your people. Typically, I would say being it for the team, Rima, or being it for your, even for the customers that you have, you need to focus on the one that are going to add the most value short term. Today, and this means that some are all maybe doing a very good job, but I'm going to ask you the question differently. If you have a fire in your house and you only can take 2 out of the 10 people that are in the house, who are these 2 going to be? So in some ways, it's forcing you to see who is going to add more value to your organization in the short term. And this will be, and it's a difficult choice to make. But if you don't do this choice, the crisis will make the choice for you and would force you to close down. The same thing will happen with your customers. You will see that some customers you make a lot of money, and with other customers you don't make a lot of money. So map your customers the same way you will map your people. And when you map your people, look at the skill set that you need today. So what are the most critical skill set? Is to be able to acquire new customers. So I would say sales is critical in this phase. To be able to make sure that you optimize your cost structure. So this is another one that could be important. So you need to look at the profile of the people, bearing in mind what are the major and most important challenges that you're facing as an organization. And the same thing for your people, for your customers. You will see that with some customers, these are critical customers where you have high margins. With other customers, you might have lower margins. Focus on those. The same thing would apply also to your suppliers. You will see that some suppliers are loyal, are willing to be with you, and others are not. But these are difficult choices, Rima. I fully understand. But you need to map it. Map it for your people, map it for your customers, and map it also for your suppliers. And you need to make these tough choices. If you're not sure, get someone to help you. Get an advisor to help you. This will be of importance. Okay, so let's see if there are other questions. Rima, thank you for the questions. Could we email the slides? Jessica has, will give you on read to the team. I mean, Raya, could you please email me the slides? Many thanks. Okay, I mean, no problem. Josephine El Balaa, okay, you have your very difficult choices. I agree. I'm reading your question. For crisis management in the medical field. Okay, Josephine El Balaa. So now, being it in the medical or being it in, it's really sector agnostic, Josephine. So there is the crisis, the way you handle it. Now, some sectors are more affected than others. In the medical sector, there might be more opportunities for growth than you will have in other sectors. So this could be an area for you, and I didn't have the chance to, but I'll show you there is a framework where you map what are the different opportunities in terms of either new products or new services in new markets. So it's either about product diversifications or market diversification that you want to do. And then we will help you prioritize those and see which are the ones that are most interesting to follow up, because this is quite important. What will be your advice for crisis and medical field, Marwan? This is okay. So this will be, so no specific ones for medical. Medical, I would say, look a lot in terms of mapping those opportunities for growth, and get, one of the key messages to all of you is get help. Get help in terms of financial advisor. And we have, as Berytech and others, we have, at least, 20 or 30 of these advisors. I personally trained a number of those in 2019. As we need those advisors to help in the companies that we will be funding over the next 4 years as part of this WE4F program that we'll be launching. on it. So just for those who didn't, at the beginning, I said that we're launching this program. The deadline for application is on the 15th of December. These are for companies either in the agri-tech field, in the clean tech field, in the water tech field. I encourage them to apply because we'll be providing you with a combination of grants. These are up to 300,000 in fresh money, dollars, technical assistance, also investment readiness support, and a whole network that we'll be providing. This is one of many programs that are coming, and this is not only for Lebanon, this is across the MENA region. Okay, so other question that you have. What about transportation field? No. Okay, you're asking me, I'm trying to be now sector agnostic. I'm trying to give you the tools that you could apply across different sectors. And these tools are either in managing your cash flow forecast, or in managing the risk factors that you have, or in managing the growth opportunities that you'll be facing and going through. So these are process. I'm encouraging you to institutionalize these process within your organization so as to make sure that you make qualified decisions in terms of how you move forward. Okay, so this will be my recommendation. Any other questions before we close? We still have about 2 minutes, so please write them down. We have your email. Jessica has the email. She will be sending you the slide set that you have, and feel free to reach out. You could Google my name. It's Constantin Salamé, and I'm also part of the Berytech staff. And be happy to take your question on a one-to-one basis, because most of the workshop that we have delivered were normally over 2 days. But what we did, and of greatest value, was to sit down with the investors afterwards, not the investors, the companies afterward on a one-to-one basis, and understand better what their needs are and be able to respond to these needs in the most effective way. Okay, let me see. Okay, you recommend definitely diversification. This is the time for you to look at opportunities. You could even reach out to competitors, because this might be the right time to see whether there is a potential collaboration, even with competitors. So look at ways where you could reinvent your model, reinvent the way you are, your business model, reinvent the way you go about delivering your product and services. Look at potential partnership, look at potential acquisition, look at potential joint venture that you could have. This is the right time because valuations are low. People are willing to negotiate, and you might find the right opportunity for you. So go through, and this diversification will come from the mapping of these growth opportunities that you have. You map them, you prioritize them, and then you decide which are the ones that you're going